Hey. We're back. Good morning. Welcome. First Sky Omaha Radio. It's going down. Good morning. Monday, March 4th, 2022 is going down. First Sky Omaha Radio. Fresh Monday edition. Go on and get up and get your body moving. Hey. What's going on, y'all? Dedicated to nature's God. Monday, March 4th, 2022. It's a Monday and the beginning of the month. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning, Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich. Oh, let me try it again. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich is going down.
Man, sometimes you just power right on through that. I'm like,
yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, we need to get you that button, man.
I like it when you sing it.
Yes, Pops, it is Friday. Fresh
right.
Friday edition. Yeah.
Yep. Pops, good morning to you. Be seeing you soon, too. Good Friday morning, First Sky fam, and glad you're feeling better, Paul B. I ain't 100%, but I'm here.
Yeah. Sound like you still got a little congestion up in this region in the throat area.
A little bit. I still got that cough is lingering on a little bit, so yeah. But
I saw your post. Good news, not COVID, so that's good.
Yeah, man, that's like the thing, ain't it? The free COVID test came in the mail same day I started feeling sick. I was like,
yeah, we
use these.
Really haven't talked about that too much on the show, but if anyone is still interested in that, there are free COVID tests available through the United States Postal Service, USPS. Just call your local office, and they'll hook you up, man. They'll hook you up. Although, man, I don't know, man. I got a check that's lost in the mail right now. I'm not very happy with USPS. Haven't been getting the best service. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I'm kind of upset.
Brother Valentine says, finally. I hear that. Good morning, fam. He says, right on.
Hey.
Hands on the wheel, ears on the message. I like that. Drive safe, brother. Drive safe. Appreciate you.
Yes, please.
Over there on YouTube. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Brooke Rodriguez gives us a good morning. Pop says, I think this is Friday. Is it Friday?
No, yes.
Is it Friday?
Yeah.
It was like Monday to me. What did
that's what I said. That's why I said Fresh Friday edition. Yeah, you didn't. No.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, man. It's okay. You've been bedside. Yeah. You know, you've been held up for what, the last 2-3 days.
Let's try this. There we go. All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
At least you got the date right. That's
all right. So it is Friday. It does feel like a Monday to me for sure. Judy Prinzler says, good morning. Back pain today. Same here, Judy Prinzler. Let me tell you what. I've never felt so old in my life. So the same time I got sick, I think I got sick from the storage unit. I went to the storage unit, started moving stuff around, dusty boxes. And not only did I throw my back out messing with stuff, but I inhaled some kind of flu virus off them boxes. And so with the pain of the body aches of the flu and the back, I was like, I couldn't even move, man. I was like, this is how old people feel. This is
that's just how sick people feel, man. Don't put that on. Don't put that on the elders. That's just how sick people feel, man.
No, bro, it was rough. I was rough. I'll tell you that. Pop says, Valentine says, I got me double checking the calendar. Yeah, that's my bad. I'm sorry about your back pain there, Judy Prinzler. I feel your pain for sure.
Give a little some. Take it easy.
Right on. Brianna Full, good morning. Says, glad you're feeling better. Good morning. Some sunshine. Appreciate that. Vicky Young gives us a good morning. Yeah. Brother Abraham says, grand rising, everyone.
Grand indeed.
Erica Fell says good morning. Yeah, I've been on that hot tea 4 times a day now. That's what it is. I forgot about my tea regimen, and
Yeah,
that's
man.
made a lot of difference. Brother Muhammad says, "Assalamu alaikum, sir."
Hey,
Alaikum
alaikum
salam,
salam, brother.
Mama God in the house says, "Good morning, first fam. Corona at the storage, just waiting on you, Paul." Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just waiting on you. My
Just
storage unit is
lurking.
on. It's over there on AIM, so it's like just Corona floating down from the gym, probably on them boxes. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it, but I sure did feel like I came out of there sick.
Not floating
So
down from the gym.
Michelle Moreno in the house says, "Hello, everyone. Good morning. Have a blessed day. Appreciate you."
Yes. Thank you for the blessings.
And Brother Muhammad says, "Greetings, family. Thanks for everybody that's joining us this early in the morning. Appreciate you."
Yeah. Welcome tippy top of the morning to you. Hopefully everyone is all right. What's the weather like out there? What is it looking like? Is it finally turning around?
It's 31 degrees. It was windy and cold this morning, but it's 31 and cloudy. It's supposed to warm up a little bit. It's been from what they tell me, because I've been in bed, but it's been nice out. It's been like 70.
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's nice. It's been about the same down here, so hopefully
Yeah.
it's turning around. If you can get out, get you some sunshine. Even Linda Lathan saying morning with some sunshine. So yeah, let the
Hey.
sunshine into your life.
Good morning. Appreciate you. Pop says, "Yes, this is how old people feel every day. The only thing that is better than this is the alternative of being viewed instead of being seen." Okay.
Okay.
I hear that. You want to be you don't want to be being viewed. You want to be being seen. So that's what's up.
Okay. I get what he said. I get what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're the subject of a viewing, you're having a
Yeah.
bad day.
That's right. That's right. That's why old people say, when you say, "Hey, it's good to see you," say, "Hey, it's good to be seen."
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yep. Miss Erica Fell says it was 78 the other day. We had a ball in the backyard. See, that's what I'm talking about. It was
Yeah.
backyard boogieing the other day.
You missed the doozy, Paul. You was in the bed.
Stacey Jean says, "Good morning, first Sky Omaha family and friends. Thank God it's
Hey.
Friday."
Yeah, man. I don't know
Feels like
what
a
Paul
Monday to
talking
me.
about. I think he said something about the Monday on the 1st of the month, something earlier. I ain't quite catch it, but yeah, man. You get your coffee. You get your coffee on deck, man.
Yeah, man. And I got a proper vessel for it now, too. I'm not drinking
Okay.
out of a mason jar like a peasant.
Man, you got some class. I guess you're civilized like them Ukrainians, huh? Ooh.
Ooh, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, man. We'll be talking about that.
I've never felt so justified for what it is we do after listening to these reporters talk the trash that they were talking, man.
Man.
About black folks in Ukraine and about the third world countries and all that.
Man, yeah. If you haven't heard, we'll definitely be getting into that. So, yeah. Without further ado, it's at 8 minutes past the hour. Let's go ahead and dive into today's subjects. Hopefully,
Yep.
everyone is all right, feeling good on this Friday, going into the weekend with high spirits. And thank you for joining us this morning. As always, feel free to chime into the chat. Let your minds be free. Let your voices be heard. We do have several things to talk about. We'll definitely be diving into our evergreen conversation, our ongoing discussion on housing. A few housing updates coming out. There's actually some money available for some developers who actually want to help with some real affordable housing, not just that buzzword, that boogeyman that we've been talking about. So we're diving into that. And speaking of the boogeyman, Pete Ricketts getting the push from Nebraska lawmakers about this federal rental aid that he's turning down, again, to the tune of $120 million that he's just going to just let it go. Just let it go to another state, not just letting it go. I want to add that in, letting it go to another state.
He's like, they don't need no help out here.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. Also, as we just mentioned, got to talk about what's going on in Russia and the conversation about it. Not necessarily Russia, but Ukraine and the conversation about it and how this thing is kind of being framed, man. As always, just you got to watch the tone. You got to pay attention to the premise that's set, because they'll try to get you to accept the premise without you even knowing it.
There's a meme going around that says racism always has time.
Always. So yeah, we'll talk
what's
about
going on.
it.
It could be World War III, and they got time to be racist.
We'll talk about it. Also, speaking of talking about it, this is definitely something we have to talk about. Is the Camisha Hollis situation and an ending. We could talk about, if it's necessarily closure, or justice or not. A very interesting ending to this whole saga that we have actually been paying attention, as Paul mentioned off air during since the Minus Soul days. I hadn't even realized we had been on air that long, to even see this case come full circle like this. But we'll talk about it. Again, a few people even dropping that into the chat. Our brother Stephen Abraham says the Hollis case is sad and confusing because Law 101 says that if they have evidence you did a murder, you will be given a sentence that goes along with capital punishment. In this case, it seems like they're saying it wasn't enough evidence. So again, we'll definitely be talking about that, Mama God, jumping into the chat. Before we get into that, man, let's go ahead and kick the show off right. Of course, we're in the building. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich in the back. All of you, welcome. It's a Fresh Friday edition. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B.
Yo.
Let's go.
Good morning. Once again, thanks for joining us. This is First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich. Want to give a shout out to everybody listening on the radio channel as well. My 630 crew, let me know how the mix was. Appreciate you. If you anytime want to hear a celebration of black music, go to firstsky.omaha.com, hit the listen button, and you can check out a nice array of good stuff. We're still Radiohead, so it's going down over there on that digital channel.
Celebration.
It's a celebration. Black music. I'm trying to tell you, it's going down. That Robert Glasper is all over.
Yeah,
Black Radio
read my
3.
mind. Read my mind.
It's good stuff, man. Star Trek Rich says, good morning, Chad Chimers. Make sure to like and share here on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Yes, thank you for the reminder. We are on YouTube, and we really appreciate it if you join us, hit the bell, subscribe over there on YouTube. I read something else about some stuff. So they have a ability to do super chat stuff on there. So like people can give you a tip, and then their chat will explode and come up on the screen and do all this stuff. And I'm like, YouTube got it going on. We need to play the YouTube game a little bit. Everybody's sick of Facebook anyway. We can see what's happening.
Man, so, we definitely got to see. I mean, YouTube is built for these types of communities. I mean, Facebook also, but that's YouTube's thing.
That is YouTube's thing. They seem to be much better at it. So please subscribe over there, even if you don't watch us there. And if you are watching us here on Facebook, please share the show on your page as well, so we can get as many people looking at it as we can. Really appreciate that. We got a good morning from Josh Tagg. Happy Friday, and good to see you're on the up and up, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
I'm not 100%, but I'm enough to be here. So you know, I love to do it. So here we are. So appreciate everybody that's jumping into the chat, and all of you that have already got up and gotten early with us, so we can get this show on the road. So we appreciate it. Definitely. In the meantime, we got a lot to talk about today, so I'll hand it over to you, buddy. What you thinking about?
Yeah, man. As I mentioned, continuing our conversation on home ownership, homes. Again, I've been pretty candid. That's the kind of biggest update in my life, getting into a new spot, a new pad, and dealing with the ills of moving. And just going through all of that. And even, in some cases when some families find a home, it's hard to keep it. And just the whole headache of having a home, which we all need. And this is again a fight that continues, and it looks like getting a home is increasingly getting harder. Just when we are talking about again, we just met last Friday. I forget with Ms. Harner, again, president of NEFA. So definitely look into that. There are some resources out there for homeowners, and we'll actually get into some of those resources here in a second. But we're going to need all the help we can get. Definitely, if with Douglas County Assessor Diane Badiato, who actually we interviewed, might need to get her back on pretty soon to answer some questions. She is, again, the Douglas County assessor, and she told county commissioners Tuesday morning that increases in every area of the county are almost a sure thing. Not what we wanted to hear. Again, we've been talking about on Friday the increase in pricing and property taxes, materials, all of these things that are coming together to make affordable housing, quote unquote affordable housing, harder to find, and it looks like that's only going to get harder. Buddi3 pointed out to the commissioners that her office follows state law. They do not set policies or tax rates. Right now, there are many people looking to buy homes and not enough people willing to sell. So there's a shortage in the supply and demand balance. A home near Newport and 31st Avenue sold one day for $10,000 over the asking price, and that's just on the low end. There are reports that some real estate agents are advising their clients to go 20, 30, sometimes $40,000 over the asking price just to be competitive in the buyer's market. Buddi3 says the buyers and sellers are controlling valuations, and right now it's about supply and demand, and buyers are fighting the short supply. She also says you got people who are getting into bidding wars, or they're putting a house on the market, and a week later they're taking bids on them, and people are paying over asking price for the homes, and it's really increasing valuation. So this seems like a snowball effect that's only getting larger and more out of control. So the question is, how do we get it under control, and how do we get people in homes? Again, there are many services, and one from the federal government that we could definitely use. This is $120 million in federal rent and utilities assistance. But before then, questions, comments, concerns.
Yeah. I kind of feel sorry for Buddi3. She's always around when the bad news is coming.
Man, and I think that's why it's funny in this story that she continues. She always makes that distinction, like, whoa, we don't set any rates, we don't set nothing, we don't make no decisions. Don't come from me. Right. Don't come from me. We just watch this kind of stuff.
Right. Last time we had her on, it was because there was this huge thing that happened where they hadn't done any evaluations in a bunch of years, and so all of a sudden everything jumped up like 200%, and they was hot. They was after her, so she was like, "I'm just a messenger." So yeah, it's interesting that this is happening right now too. Like you said, we already knew and been hearing stories about people who've been selling their house $50,000 over the asking price and all kinds of stuff. The market's been tough, and so now because of all that, all them raised, those raised prices, now the valuations are going to be going up, and it's going to make it even tougher, like you said. Steve Abraham in the chat says, in North Omaha, we have the most renters out of all districts in the metropolitan of Omaha. I hate when lawmakers say broad terms that point to areas that have more renters but don't say North and South Omaha. Yeah, that's true. That's a very interesting thing to think about too. Is when these evaluations go up, then the rents are going to go up, and that's how that affects us, because most people, that's what it is. There's most renters out of all the districts are in our districts, and so they know who they're talking about when they're talking.
Yeah, it's going to actually affect renters the most, because they're the ones, not only paying for the mortgage, but they're paying for the owner's profit margin.
All the taxes on it.
Yeah.
Everything. And them owners are going to pass that right on down to the renters, and that's what it is. It's, they're not going to eat none of that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's bad news.
Yeah, and the question is, how do we reel it back in? How do we get our hands, on to the pulse of this thing, and kind of, as I said, reel it in? There are a few Douglas County commissioners. PJ Morgan, who has years of experience as a licensed real estate appraiser, has a few ideas, and says that he's concerned about the high prices and the valuations that will follow, saying if we ever started to get back to the norm of having homes on the market, these values aren't going to be where they are. We're going to have another bubble like we had in 2008. So hopefully it bursts. But it looks like it's only getting larger and larger. And Douglas County is in the preliminary stages of estimating valuations. County officials must submit their proposed final evaluations by March 25th. So again, this picture could actually get worse within the next 3 weeks. And if valuations are going up and others are, in the community. Actually, it's funny. In the last 2 days, I received 3 phone calls. And Mama Guy, you on here, man. Let me know if you're getting these messages as well. I received 3 phone calls and 2 text messages about people trying to buy my mom's house.
Your mom's house?
Yeah. Because we're on the family plan, I guess her name is connected to my number. And yeah, so they're calling. They're just going through the phone records, calling whatever name matches that address.
That's
and
crazy.
They called me. Trying to buy my mom's house. I'm trying to find the text message to see what they actually said.
In the chat, Mama God said, if people are paying more than tax assessed value or actual market value, then doesn't that in fact potential bubble problem?
Mom says every day. Yep. It says, "Good day. I'm Ed, a property investor, and curious if you are interested in hearing a cash offer for your property."
Yeah. No, Ed, we're not.
Man,
First of all, Brooke also said I get a call almost every day. But Carolyn Jack in the house, what's happening? It says I've experienced the assessment on my home being increased, and the house next door chopped into apartments was not. Thank you, Mama God. She gotta cuss their head out. Look here, Ed. And we found out from some people that we know in this business. Ed is a person. He's out here fishing for the real people that got the money. The developers that want to come and buy your house.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't even actually Ed with no actual cash. He's just fishing out here. And
right. It's real fishing, like pH fishing, like that
too.
Yeah, because this is a bot. This is something because it says like a text stop. So this is like it says reply stop to unsubscribe. I don't know when I subscribed is the issue.
Exactly. Ceci Jean says, I get 2 to 3 offers to buy my house every week. Annoying. Ms. Erica Phil says, I bought my house January 18th and I get mail and text weekly offering to buy the house as is.
So what is this about? What is this about? And actually imagine if someone has, a home secured and they got, a relative just passed and they have hospital bills that are piling up.
Yep.
Or they're in some financial situation where an offer like this actually might be, might have some weight to it. Might be something that they might leap on just to get the money. And now they're stuck in this buyer's or the seller's market having to come up with $50,000 to get a house that's even comparable to what they just left, just because the market is bad.
Yeah, for real. I mean, the market is bad right now. Nobody wants to sell. That's what the article was saying too. Nobody wants to sell. There's not a whole lot of houses on the market, period. And most people are trying to hold on to what they got. There's also not a lot of things being built right now. Supply chain issues, financial issues, all kinds of things that is not allowing for things to be built. So there's really a big shortage of being able to buy. And I think everybody's on this tip right now to buy because it's been so precarious. You're just like, you know what, I'm buying next time. I ain't gonna be out of a place to live, and we got to do something about securing a place. And buying sounds very much like security. So everybody's trying to buy, but nobody really can at this point. So,
right.
And there's also the whole, there's also like gentrification and all kinds of other stuff that's going on in our areas where people have been trying to buy up the areas the whole time. So
and again, the valuations are going up, and they're not. This is the preliminary stage. So by the 25th is the date that's set for all of the county commissioners, county officials to submit their proposed final evaluations. So by then, property value could go up, which could continue or further push the domino effect and rising prices. So we don't know how bad it's gonna get before it gets any better. And also, just to give a picture of how bad it currently is, to your point of the lack of houses available, in this is from WOWT6. In this report, Buddi3 Da Gawd is quoted saying that there's usually about 1,100 and some change houses available on the market. It's currently just over 300 houses available on the market.
Yeah.
So only 30%, of the usual available houses are available.
Yeah, I had a friend who was a real estate agent saying they all battling over a few houses right now. Craziness.
So, slim pickings.
Slam Pickens, man. Earlier we got a good morning from Augie Kid, who's in early this morning. Appreciate you, squad in the house.
Right.
Miss Erica Felt got some good points. She says just block those calls, because if you text stop, it lets them know you're a valid number.
Yep.
She also said it was said that Zillow was buying houses for exorbitant amounts in each neighborhood to drive up the comp, since they also have real estate offices now.
I did hear about that. I did hear a report about them, just conflict of interest with them getting into the real estate game.
Yep. Richard Green in the house says they are running a new program on us. Ms. Erica Fell says, I bought because I was facing homelessness. I couldn't afford the higher rents. I'd be forced into due to my business in my home. Yeah. Be forced into due to business in my home. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. I think people are feeling the pinch on that. Like, I definitely went that route. Looking, I wasn't in the market to buy nothing, but when I couldn't find nowhere to go, and rents were, way up as far as that's concerned, and people hitting me like, hey, if you buy something, your mortgage is going to be less than this rent.
Yeah.
I was like, well, go on and look, but then you couldn't find nothing. So it was pretty precarious.
And then also just the whole market is crazy. Like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, it's either come up with $70,000 to put down your down payment, and $70,000 at one time for your down payment and your closing costs and any repairs and the moving, and come up with that at one time, where some people can't necessarily come up with that at one time and then pay the cheaper on the back end, or pay more on the front end and not necessarily have to worry about coming up with it. I think Michelle said this is very expensive to be poor, man.
That's very true. Mama God says, true story. Hubby was considering selling a home in Millard. The home does need minor upgrades and reappraise needed some upgrade. Investor offered him $25K. Interesting. Amy Huffley says, hey, fam. Hope you're feeling better, Paul. Thank you. I appreciate that. Judy Prinzer says, taxes are going to kill us. Fight back. I challenged my increase in property evaluation last year and won. Really?
Okay. I would like to hear more on that story.
Definitely would like to hear more on that story. I've never even heard you can do that. So that's good news, good information there. Appreciate that. Ms. Erica Fell says, my mortgage is higher than my rent was in December, but it's less than if I moved into another rental. Ain't that a mess? Stephen Abraham says, when I talked about making renters to homeowners, I was told that it would cause problems. As a former commissioner of Omaha Housing Authority, I pushed that all our participants or stakeholders need to know about our homeownership program, FSS, Family Self-Sufficiency. So you were pushing this, and they were saying it would cause problems. Yeah, that's. I wonder what kind of problems they thought that was going to cause.
That's my question. People
to own their own home. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. Ceci Jean says, I always challenge property tax increases. Yeah, this is the first time I ever heard about that you can challenge that. We need to hear more about that for sure.
How do you go about doing that? What does that process entail?
And I think the bottom line here with us is that we always talk about this. We're definitely on the side of people in our community owning their own homes. Mm-hmm. We need more ownership. Less renters. People, in order to even start building wealth, you need to look at owning some property, owning some land, and having some security. So there's programs out here and there's things going on. We'll be talking about another program that's happening that a friend of ours, a friend of First Sky Omaha, is working at. We'll have to ask her to come on and talk about it, but we'll talk about that coming up because it's pretty interesting how all these programs now are popping up to try to help people do this. We had somebody on last week that was talking about financial ability to kind of help you go buy a new home and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we're always all for putting the information out there on how to do this and what resources there are to help people do it, because I think we all agree it's very much needed. Rome's Review says there should be a workshop to fill out the forms to contest evaluations. Yeah, we should have
That'd
a
be
workshop
nice.
on how to buy property. Period. Judy
Yeah.
Prinzler says I have a peanut-sized house. The information that they had on my house was incorrect.
Okay.
So they must have said you had a bigger house than you did and evaluated it higher or something.
Miss Erica Phelps said something a little further down the chat. I wanted to. She said I
Mm-hmm.
had no down payment or closing costs, and I was kind of curious. Did you go through a program? If so, what's the name of that program?
Yeah. She says property taxes are what slowed my home buying process. My lender let me know I could buy a more expensive house, but it couldn't be over $3,000 taxes. That was hard to find. Yeah, it's a process, man. It's unfortunate there's no coaching. There's no no organizations that'll help walk you through that. Maybe there is, we just don't know about them. But it seems like that would be interesting. Been listening to those to Earn Your Leisure podcast.
Yeah, man.
Lately. But actually, Buddy hit me too, and these young brothers are talking about exactly that. They're talking about what happens there, as far as your home ownership is concerned, and how it is that you need to kind of go through the process of purchasing a home. And there's a lot of information out there because it's lacking. Whenever you look up and you see a bunch of people who are putting out information on stuff and putting training courses out and all these things, it's a sign, it's a signal that you're in a situation where they've been trying to hide stuff from us. Like brother said earlier, they're running a new game on us.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a new game. Home ownership, property land ownership. But unfortunately, I would say it's more of the same old game being played a new way.
Yep. It is 7:32 right now in Omaha, Nebraska. If you keeping track of time, let's take a quick break. Come back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, and all of you, the chat channels.
Chat is going off, trying to keep up, but keep it going, y'all. Keep the conversation going.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Yeah, good to be back. First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich going down right now with all of you in the chat. And I'll tell you what, the chat's going off.
Man, the chat chimers are feeling chimey today.
Thanks for everybody chiming on in. You've been checking it out. You've been running.
I went through it. I skimmed through it. I did want to go back to what brother Stephen Abraham was talking about with the FSS program. Apparently, sister Miss Erica Felt was in it and said that the lady running it was problematic, so much so to the point that she had to remove herself from the program before there was some furniture moving and there was a real problem. I'm kind of curious to see who that lady was who was running it. What's her name? Is that program still ongoing? And is anyone else familiar with that program? We got some questions, comments, and concerns with that thing because it's stuff like that, man. Our people perish for lack of knowledge, man. It's a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of resources that are out there. that just aren't made available to us, either because we don't just know about it, or there's a bunch of hoops that we got to jump through. That's really just discouraging, to say the least.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Brooke Rodriguez says, I got an FHA federal loan. It makes it easy for you to buy. You have a low down payment and low interest rate.
okay. I will say that well, my wife and I'll say my wife found a program down here that assists with home ownership as well. I had to get the name of it. There's actually a couple programs that help with that. And we actually were able to secure some assistance and get pre-approved for a mortgage, but the market is to so much so to a point where it wasn't enough house. We have three small children and
Right.
planning for more. So again, I think for like $300,000, you're still looking at like a 2-3 bedroom house, 1 or 2 bath. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Rough.
but there are options. I say that to say there are options. There is assistance out there. Um, to apply for.
Yeah.
Again, I would definitely love to hear more about this FSS program. Also, for those of you who already have housing and want to combat about keeping the house, because that's also part of the conversation. Once you get into the
Mhm.
house, try to keep it. Star Trek Rich dropped a link for that property evaluation and appeals form. So if anyone is interested in looking more into that and combating your evaluations, go ahead and check that out. Fill out that form and yeah, go ahead and stand up, speak out, because a closed mouth does not get fed.
Hear that.
Yeah.
Definitely go back and check out some of the good suggestions that the chat timers are putting in the chat on this subject. Definitely want to kind of move on to the adjacent article here with on this subject. If you want to jump into that,
Yeah, man.
uh, but yeah, lots of good tips I'm seeing here in this chat. Go back and definitely check that out. Brooke says the FHA loan is for first time home buyers, so
Okay.
they'll make that easy, and it's for the spot that you're gonna live in. It wouldn't be for a spot that you're gonna rent out.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's a lot to it, but it sounds like we have some people in the chat that have gone through the process and has some knowledge here, knows what's up.
Yeah, if you could just real quick drop a link to any information on the FHA process, Brooke, that'd be appreciated. So yeah, if you can just
Word
drop a
up.
link in the chat, I'm sure the people appreciate it. And as Paul mentioned, there are some articles that kind of deal with this, man. There's several ends of the conversation. One end is, of course, getting into the house and finding the house, which is something that this new investment organization or cooperative is focusing on. The Front Porch Investments has opened up their funding gate to affordable housing projects. This is the efforts of 9 local philanthropic groups who all teamed up together about 3 years ago to get a better grip on affordable housing. And this eventually led to a 105-page report that identified the gaps and solutions to fundraising and affordable housing in the
Mm,
Omaha area. And from that came Front Porch Investments, which is again an organization of these 9 groups that has now announced its first round of funding to be distributed to nonprofits and developers who will help fill the metro's shortage of affordable housing with places to live. The grant will give out a total of $6 million to qualified and worthy projects. Applications will open mid this month, so in a couple weeks, and awards will be announced in May, and eligible projects must be ready to begin this year. And that's just the start, a precursor designed to get a feel for the field and prepare the front porch for a bigger and more formal funding round this summer. So again, this is just the opening initial round. There will be more rounds coming up, and apparently there's a pool of close to $200 million, and fundraising is ongoing. So that pool can get larger. But the Front Porch Housing Development and Preservation Fund, designed to boost affordable housing, is anticipated to continue to grow. So this is something that's new. This is something that's exciting. And actually, apparently, a couple friends of the family are a part of this. Miss Naomi Hadaway, who we had on as she ran for her campaign. I forget exactly which seat she was running for. I think city council, but She's definitely a part of this, so we have to get her on to get more information on this.
Yeah, Naomi Hathaway is a friend of First Sky Omaha, also a supporter of First Sky, friends of First Sky Omaha. So
Yes,
yeah, she's definitely in the fam, and I was happy to see her name as a communications person over there. So we'll definitely reach out to her, have her on, because we need to know about the front poach now. See what's
man.
happening.
Definitely see what's happening with the front poach. Again, speaking of Naomi Hathaway, she has says that and COVID-19 has had a disproportionate impact on people of color,
Mm.
recognizing that need as a result of COVID-19. It says Front Porch accepts the obligation to support equity, housing justice, and accessibility best practices. So definitely looking to do the good work. And of course, as the 105-page study that they have, we definitely have to look through that at a later date. But as the housing study was underway, the pandemic hit, of course, and construction expenses jumped, and as did the cost to rent and buy. And the director of the program, Miss Meredith Dillon, says that we have the data, we know the problem, so let's go fix it. So again, this is definitely something that we're all about. Shout out to our friends at The Reader who actually wrote this article. Again, it's all about solutions journalism, and not just talking about the problems, but moving forward, mobilizing, and getting some things done.
Absolutely. Brother Valentine says in Omaha, we need to pull our knowledge and resources together. Many cities have a black real estate group made up of bankers, financiers, real estate agents, and community leaders.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. This could, to me, I feel like we got a lot of those in this group. We could be starting. We could definitely start it here. Natasha Brown says, not getting too excited about front porch. This is front for Susie Buffett.
Hmm.
Let us give us some info on that, because that's not anything that I've read yet on that. And like I said, we do have a friend, First Sky Omaha, that is working there that we can ask about it. But I haven't seen that this was anything that the Sherwood Foundation was fronting. But I'm sure they have. I'm sure they've donated some money. They probably have, but I'm not sure. So if you got any information on that, on it being a front for Susie Buffett, let us know.
Yeah.
Also, she says Meredith used to work for Susie Buffett before switching over. Okay,
I'm just saying, watch out.
yeah, I heard that. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
watch out. You definitely
Yeah.
got to watch out for all that.
I mean, follow the money is always the motto around here. So that's definitely a good, kind of nod from Miss Brown for giving us an idea of where the money is coming from.
Absolutely.
So that's definitely a good point. And I also do have questions myself about, exactly what are they deeming a qualified and worthy project? What is the criteria for that? So there's more money. There's some gatekeeping involved with that. So we're just gonna have to ask some more questions.
Well, and they got this study out that we can be reading and checking
Yes.
it out. I definitely want to check that out. And like I said, we'll have Naomi on to talk to her about it. But I will say this: I don't even flinch anymore when I hear about uh, organizations like this that get together that are pulling money together from philanthropy to do a thing,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the town we live in. We live in a town where there's just I was sitting there thinking, and I was like, with front porch, I was even thinking, I was like, here's another organization that's come along that says, hey, if we this is what we want to do. So now how do we do that here in Omaha? Well, we go and get money from these different foundations and philanthropy and pull a fund together so that we can direct that fund to where we want to direct it to. There's
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of organizations out here like that. That's really kind of like the biggest way to do anything out here is to is to say, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. Now I got to go raise some money to do it. Where do you go to raise the money? All these foundations that are out here that you give them your idea. They say, all right, that sounds good to me, and they give you the money. They got to give it sometime. They have to give away certain amounts of money out of their organizations. So yeah, I don't even flinch anymore when I see that. Of course, Susie Buffett probably has of course, Sherwood probably has something to do with it. Of course, Kiewit has something to do. Of course, because where else are they going to get these big dollars from? The point is,
Right.
if they're an organization that is distributing these dollars in the way that works for us, that's all I'm really worried about at this point. Because I have yet to see any of these organizations try to control much from through the nonprofits that they're giving funds to.
There is free reign from the nonprofits to do what they're trying to do. Is what you're saying.
I mean, if there's funds if they already are distributing funds to give to people to buy their own homes, Where's the harm? If we follow the money back to the same foundations that are doing everything else, then really the focus should be on where the organization and where they're directing these funds, how they put their thing together, how Front Porch put their thing together to direct the funds, and who
And where they're
their
right,
study, who they're directing it to, and all that. Right. So I agree. Let's watch. You got to watch. You got to ask. You go, where's it coming from? Is there some ulterior motives? Is there some things here that they're trying to control? But for the most part, I don't even flinch no more. We've been doing this too long. Like I've seen it 100 times. Every organization out here has got some money trickled down from one of these organizations, and the real question is: are you an organization that is going to stand your ground for what you're going to use that money for? That's really it.
Yeah. Are you going to direct it to the people who need it?
Tonight Patterson says $6 million sounds like administrative salaries. That might help one housing development. Right. They could do better.
Yeah. Again, it's just the opening round.
And which organizations are doing better? Can we identify some similar organizations out there that are also putting funds together to help people purchase homes? Because I'm sure there are some other ones out there, and how, are they got more money coming through, less money?
And where is that money coming from?
Precious and McKesson in the house says, good morning, First Sky family. I agree with that 100%, Paul. Affordable housing is necessary. I think Habitat is a part of it, all of this also. Yeah, I don't say we don't need to pay attention to where the money's coming from, but we also gotta be like, all right, we know where the money's coming from around here. It's coming from the people who got the money. You know what I'm
Buffett,
I mean, the question is, what can we do with it? How much of it can we get? Where can we distribute it? How can it help? And for us, the question is, how can we bypass it altogether? Just get our own stuff happening. That's really what we want to do. But we also live in a town where some of this stuff can help. So, Brother Omar Valentine says, have we as a community submitted anything to these foundations and been denied? Their message is always, we want to help, but nobody from the community is applying or submitting proposals.
That's a good point.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's true. Are we not submitting proposals? Everybody I know that's got some kind of organization or doing something is always submitting proposals. And, everybody, like my community now knows exactly when the Sherwood Foundation grant is up and the due date, and they're working around that and reminding each other about the due date. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I feel like everybody around me is submitting proposals. This new Front Porch is a new proposal.
Are they getting denied, though, is the question.
Are they getting denied? Yeah, I'm not sure. If I was going to continue on with my peer group that I'm thinking about doing this stuff, most people will get something. Most it's not a whole lot of people that have been getting turned down.
No.
For stuff.
No.
I mean, think about where we're in. We're in independent news right now. So that we're talking about noise. We're talking about our partners at Flatwater Free Press. We're talking about partners that are doing alternative news.
Just about everybody.
They've been trying to give us money to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some organizations that are having a hard time getting the money because they ain't ready for the money, but they're trying to give it to them. Like,
and I guess that goes to Brother NMR Valentine's question. Is it a part of us that's just not ready? Are there some organizations out there that haven't put together whatever it is they need to put together to get the money, or
not asking for enough?
Yeah, what is it?
Like us, we don't have no problem asking for it, but we also have been putting just as much energy into building it ourselves. So if our model was, let's just get it all from philanthropy, then we'd be doing something different.
Yeah, no, you definitely shouldn't just rely on these rich, wealthy people to save your community and, always come with your handout. Like, if you need assistance, then, yeah, I do think that they should give back to the communities.
See, but we look at it like you might be standing there with your hand out. I don't think some of these organizations some of these organizations are built on the fact that they know philanthropy has to happen, so they're going to get those dollars, and that's their model. And they don't look at it as like getting their hand out. They look at it like redirecting some of these funds that these people got that they have to give away anyway.
That's how you end up like a leech. That's how you end up. I mean, because even these rich, wealthy people, like, their money is limited. Hey, there is an end, whether it might be billions and millions, like it is limited, and it is, I'm sure, tied up in other business ventures. These people don't just have an unlimited amount of money to just keep giving back to the community. At some point, you know, we might not have boots, and maybe this philanthropic thing can help us get boots. But once you get boots, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. At some point, you do have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
I mean, that's what we believe, but I'm also seeing a way of doing business in Omaha that I've never witnessed anywhere else, which is organizations that are strictly funded by philanthropy every year. Like
That's
that's the
not.
plan.
I mean, that's cool at first. I don't think that's a sustainable model, though. That's not a sustainable model to build.
It depends on what you're trying to
Communities
build.
that sustain.
It depends on what you're trying to build. If you're trying to build a community that sustains, then no, it's not a sustainable model.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about nonprofit organizations that help people with housing, that help people with health, that help people. We're not talking about Jocelyn.
But I'm saying the organizations that are doing that, they can sustain by getting philanthropy dollars for as long as they can get philanthropy dollars, and because they're not the ones that are building those communities. The communities are building themselves, and they're getting help from some of these organizations. And those organizations in particular, I'm talking about those organizations in particular. Like, Front Porch is ever going to start? What are they going to do to sustain themselves financially as an organization? They're not looking at a business model to sustain themselves financially as an organization. They're looking at a business model of, we're going to redirect funds. That's their whole thing. That's their whole.
Well, yes. I mean, that's I get what you're saying now, and that's the whole point of a nonprofit. Like, it's
To help
that's
a
the point,
problem out.
right? That's the point,
right?
Which I guess then brings about another question: are these nonprofits, like, to what extent should we rely on these nonprofits to help us?
Well, like I said, man, if they got some cash now that can help something out that I'm on right now, then I'll grab it. But, like, of course, we can't depend on that. That's not nothing that is sustainable. We, like you said, going back to what you're talking about, like, we might be able to get the boots, and they might be able to help us out with some of the straps. But after that, we got to do the pulling up. So, but that's what we got to do. So I don't necessarily demonize too much some of these organizations that are pulling some of these funds together from some of these foundations, because they're really only here to help. It's what you gonna use them for.
And the question is, what are we doing? What are we doing with it? Because, like you said, the money is out there.
That's right. Karen Warner's in the house. Good morning. She says, I believe the only organization that is thriving for full self-sufficiency and autonomy has to be the Black Agenda Alliance. Membership and support of the organization will soon make it so we will not have to rely on certain philanthropic organizations. We're right alongside with you. First Sky Omaha is another one of those, Miss Warner. And we are all about the Black Agenda Alliance. We definitely want to have you guys on to talk about your organization as well, and would love to start telling people to sign up to that one as well.
Yeah.
So, also, Tanaya Patterson says the city can place conditionals on TIF funding, but just doesn't want to. Way more money goes to projects in TIF that end up being $1,200 luxury dormitories than the nonprofit trickles proposed after umpteen years. Just tired of the backdoor fake helping and nonsense. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Terry Crawford in the house says, Paul B, we were to have the redlining conversation. It can resolve some of these issues regarding community voice and input on citizen-centered projects. Yeah, definitely. We can definitely have the redlining conversation. This goes right along with all this housing stuff that we're definitely talking about. So let's do that for sure. Brother Valentine says North Omaha needs a watchdog society to hold the city, philanthropists, agencies, and organizations accountable. Simultaneously, we need to hold ourselves accountable by making sure we are educated, self-sufficient, and in good standing if we desire outside funding.
Yeah, man.
Totally agree.
Yeah,
totally
man.
agree with that. And furthermore, I feel like you summed that up saying self-sufficient. I feel like we need to be thinking in terms of that. You can get some help, but the goal is that you get to the point where you're helping yourself, you're sustaining you're sustaining without that help. Kara Warner says that there is a reason behind the fact that 80% of these nonprofits are heavily funded by those large entities that were previously mentioned. This is systematic. Well, everybody's playing the game that is laid out here. Until we start to reject the premise of the game,
man,
we're doing what we're doing. Richard Green says, whatever land you have, don't sell, hang on to it. That sums it up for me right there. There's definitely a movement going on in North Omaha of landowners, business. I mean, house people that own their own homes and their grandmother's homes, bought them from, kept them in the family, that are saying, don't move, don't let it go.
No, hang on.
No matter how many times they call you and text you, hang on to it, because they're trying. They're trying to buy everything up.
Yeah, which is actually right along with this next article. Again, we talked about, building the houses and developing it. But even once you get into the house, it's just hard to keep it. It's hard to keep it. And this $120 million that Governor Ricketts is just kind of letting fall by the wayside can go a long way into helping a lot of people keep the homes that they already have secured. And now key lawmakers are calling for Governor Ricketts today, actually, to apply for the $120 million worth of federal rent and utilities assistance money, saying that they can confirm there is need for help in rural Nebraska and I would say urban Nebraska as well. Actually, all 9 members of the Appropriations Committee, from the most liberal all the way to the most conservative, across the aisle, have all signed a letter asking the governor to reconsider his decision not to seek the additional money. In the letter, they say, after spending over 125 hours in public hearings, we can confirm that there is a continuing need for this support and that the funds can be distributed effectively. Ricketts, of course, has previously said that he would not apply for the additional assistance, citing the lack of need in the state and concerns about the potential for fraud. Nebraska is one of the only 2 states to leave the money on the table. That's according to the state's budget director. And again, the governor also is quoted saying that this would help taxpayers, and he doesn't want to use taxpayers' dollars for people who don't need it, when in reality that money does not save taxpayers, and it actually does not go back to the federal government. It would roll, I believe, to California, which is the next state in line to receive those funds.
When we first talked about this news, it was just like par for the course. This man has no clue. How is it that you think that people don't need help? It's crazy. So it's interesting that politicians on both sides of the aisle are pushing now. Like, come on, man, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Also, on top of that, it is mentioned elsewhere in this article that there's still about $44 million in unused rental assistance just floating in the state as we speak.
I mean, we know that there's some kind of disconnect because there's people that need help. How, we also know we talk a lot about the hoops that they try to make you jump through for everything as well. That might be stopping some of them. Yeah, Katie L in the house says governor of Nebraska is not only detached but ego driven.
Yeah. I mean, this is when you have billionaires make, public policy decision.
Sarah Fell says, if I could afford to start life over yet again in California, I'd ride out today. Yeah, I mean, California got its problems too, but I hear you on that. It's really interesting the deeper that we get into what's going on, and just our civics here. It's problematic, man. It's really problematic. Like I was just talking to Star Trek Rich about this earlier. They're so far away from some kind of progressive stuff. They don't even know how far away they are from it. When you come from somewhere else, see something else, then you come back here and you realize like how far they are away from any kind of like civilized situation with diversity and just equality. It's really crazy. Brooks says people are leaving Cali, too expensive. Yeah, a lot of people are moving to Vegas, including our family. It's pretty expensive out there. Brooks says, is Native Omaha Days a fundraising event? If it's not, it should be one and should be done yearly to raise money for community projects in North O. Good idea.
I like that idea. Definitely being that Native Omaha Day brings a lot of Native Omahans who, have gone to other areas and are a little more well-to-do, have found success and opportunities in other areas. It'd be a good opportunity to bring that back to the community.
So true, so true. Augie Kid says, I feel like whenever he says that Nebraskans don't need help, it's code for he, his family, and other constituents trying to come up on everyone else's literal misfortune. yeah, it's well said. I can definitely feel that. I feel that myself.
Yeah,
every time I'm, like, of course he doesn't think nobody needs help. Why would a billionaire think anybody needs help? He's so detached is the word that was used earlier. So true.
Yeah, it's a good word.
Wanda Lewis says, pay attention to the double standards when properties that are owned by developers are left to sit dormant for many years. However, all others have 90 days to bring their properties up to city code, especially in areas of development interest.
Yep.
I keep our eye on that. Judy Prinzer says, Ricketts is a pea head and can't see it beyond his front porch. We must open our eyes to others.
Senator Barrel Blood.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Miss Erica Fell says, I can't afford housing there, but the rest of the problems aren't heavier than the benefits. At least there you can get lifted to calm the stress. You're talking about Cali.
All right.
That's what's up. Leah Keiser says, thank you for bringing awareness to this. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that. We're definitely going to jump into a break, and we're going to come back. It's 8:01 right now, so you're now in the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning with Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich.
Squad.
And, yeah, man, squad in the house. Thanks for everybody that's chimed into the chat as well. And we'll be right back. Lots to talk about when we get back. Of course, we're going to speak on the Camisha Hollis case. Also, this racist coverage of the Ukraine that we got to dive into. It was the whole reason why we do what we do is because of this mess.
Yeah, man.
Which is real crazy. Also, Reading Rainbow coming back.
Reading Rainbow
with no LeVar Burton.
Wop, wop, wop.
Oh. Bad news. Omaha Planning Department virtual meeting coming up too. We'll be talking about the HAPs when we get back. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich. Stay tuned. What up? First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, and it looks like Lil Mama's gonna come on the air too here in a minute. While that's happening, let's jump into some what Buddy likes to call Trekkie words of wisdom. Our Starfleet daily meditation today. They are not just names. It's important we remember that. We have to remember Benjamin Sisko, my absolute favorite character from the Star Trek series. Benjamin Sisko says, they're not just names. It's important we remember that. We have to remember. That was from one of my favorite episodes too, where he did some mean acting on that. I know my sister can attest. That
sounds like some mean acting.
Oh man.
We gotta remember.
We have to remember their names. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was rough. Brooke says, yes, Ben. Benjamin Cisco's the dude for sure. Brother Rich put in the donate link. So if you are so inclined and have not yet become a reoccurring member of the channel, please think about doing so. Hit that link, firstskyOmaha.com, hit slash donate and get down. What's up? Hey, what's Katie L? What you know about Cisco speaking? See, Cisco is the dude. Now, buddy, I know that you're a Star Wars fan, not a Star Trek fan so much. You got to watch Deep Space Nine, though, bro. Like,
Okay,
that's black excellence.
okay.
Black excellence, bro.
I mean, I loosely grew up on Star Trek. Like I remember, it being on in my parents' room and just sitting looking at dude with the wrinkly head, and like as a kid, like what I'm saying, peeping the brother with the cool glasses. Like I remember all of that as a youngster, not really knowing what I was looking at, just peeping the coolness, for what it was. But I was paying attention to Star Wars. That's
just wrinkly hair, dude.
yeah. I mean, that's my young perspective. You know what I'm saying? Wrinkly hair, dude.
I love it. Yeah, man. I really appreciate it. Rome's review says I started a new group, Keep North Omaha Local Alive, Canola, #Canola, where goods and services can be requested and members can supply suggestions. Please join.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we joined it. We down with that action, man. Anything that we can do to up the business in North O, definitely the thing. Appreciate that.
But that's the type of stuff we like to see, man. That's why we call you Mayor Sanchez, because we got to get the people mobilized. That's what it's about. We have the conversations here, and I guess based on a need that we found or something that he saw through conversations here or in his everyday life, went on and mobilized and made that page. So we're definitely in full support, and it's just okay to drop something like that on the Friends of First Sky page because we want to see what the friends got going on. And support it, man.
There you go. You just got called out though. Brooke Rodriguez said Worf and Jordy LaForge. Put some respect on their names.
Okay, thank you. I was waiting on somebody. I just didn't know.
Not wrinkly head and sunglasses, dude.
Yeah. Worf and Jordy LaGorge.
It's Jordy LaForge. She did a typo.
Okay, LaForge. Okay. Yeah, let me know. Hey, let me know.
Pop said wrinkle head dude in the guy.
That's how you know. I'm being 1,000.
Miss Erica Fell says I grew up with Lieutenant Uhura, William Shatner, and the Tribbles. I'm not a Star Trek fan, but I respect it. I have to laugh out loud. My mother made me watch it. Yeah, Lieutenant Uhura, my favorite.
Okay, man, pinkies up. Pinkies up.
That's what's up. All right, enough of the Star Trek talk. That was funny though. She was at Brooke said Worf and Jordy LaForge. Put some respect on their name. And Jordy LaForge with the cool sunglasses you was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's LeVar Burton. That's actually
yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, we'll get to some LeVar Burton news a little later on.
That's Kunta.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But but I will say though that Star Trek kind of set the stage for Star Wars for me. So when I saw some, when I saw Samuel and L in the Star Wars world, it wasn't too foreign to see a brother in space. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Hey, Nate Scott in the chat says reject the premise of the game. That's it, Paul B. The game is rigged. That's my favorite. Let me tell you something, man. That's if you want to associate any phrase that I'm about, is I reject the premise. He says the game is rigged and the bar always moves. Capitalism has never existed without exploiting the labor of poor folks. The wealthy depend on exploited service workers at home and slave wage production workers abroad. We reward corrupt leaders and resource-rich countries in Africa and South America and crush governments that try to help their people using economic homogen. I can never say this word. I can never say this word. I'm not even gonna try. Economic sanctions, covert assassinations, and military force. I believe the only solution is to reject the premise of the game. But what does that look like? Did the hippies have the right idea? Just drop out and plant gardens, barter? I don't know. But trying to get better at capitalism will never work, in my opinion. Interesting.
Quite the diatribe.
Jumping back onto some Star Trek news, Pop says in real life, Uhura is responsible for getting more black folks to NASA than anyone else, literally.
Again, going right back to what I was saying about Star Trek setting the stage. Space is the place, y'all. This conversation is going somewhere. Space is the place. We just left Black History Month. Was talking to Paul about it off air. Kanye West. We were talking about the Genius thing that's out on Netflix now. But he just released something else called Black History Month. It was the Future Brunch is what it was called.
Right.
The Future Brunch. And in this Future Brunch, Kanye West is not accepting the premise. He's not accepting the premise. And he's taking control of the narrative of Black History Month and just Black existence, and calling it now. And this is something that Paul and I have agreed to. It's actually a Black Future Month, Black Future Forever, really. But
that's it. It's no longer. I mean, we pay attention to history, we study history, but what we'll be celebrating is Black Future.
Yeah, man.
From now on, because this is what this is about. Big movement going on too, man. That thing they did in LA was very surprising. And I can't wait to dig more into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Star Trek Rich said, I went to the bathroom, come back, Star Trek blasphemy. What's going on here?
No, man, we're giving Star Trek as props, man. We're giving Star Trek as props.
Don't get me beat up over here. I'm the one that's in the Star Trek land.
You see Paul's camera just go black. We hear some commotion.
I want to get back to the chat real quick. Brother Muhammad says the financing system of public schools in the U.S. ensure that community wealth disparities carry over into education by relying largely on property taxes to fund schools, which can vary widely between wealthy and poor areas. Districts create funding gaps from the word go. Just a reminder, Brother Muhammad is running for school board. Mm-hmm. So if you want somebody that wants to be in there and change and make some change happen, definitely check out his campaign. But he's got a great point. I never understood why that was how they were allowed to get away with. Property taxes are the things that fund your schools, because now you're guaranteeing that poorer areas is going to have poorer schools, period. So something that definitely needs to be changed up. Brother Muhammad also said we're in Black History Forever. That's right. And Black Future. That's what it is.
Space is the place, y'all. It's all about that. It's all about going into the space, new spaces, new places, controlling our narrative, and y'all all it's all in the same topic, where we're talking about several different things at the same time. But there's a common thread through all of this that I kind of want to pull together, and that is controlling our narrative and not accepting the premise. Because going back to what Brother Melvin Muhammad said, we have to control the narrative and not accept the premise that just because these schools are in these neighborhoods that, they're lesser as far as testing scores and quality of education because they're in that area, just because that's just what that area is deemed to be. No, there are systemic things that are causing that area to be what it is and causing that education to be what it is. And we're controlling the narrative to speak up on that.
Right.
And that's, again, what Kanye is doing. I definitely urge people to check that out. But I want to continue on this thread of controlling the narrative as we get into our next article, because another area where the narrative is not really controlled in our favor is the news and the media. And when, while we're here, is to again, continue to do that and control our narrative, and not accept the premise. And there are a few premises in this next article that I want to challenge, if you will, and talk about the narrative. Of course, I'm talking about the Camisha Hollis situation and how Black women missing and brutalized is often portrayed in the news, and how the cases and their stories are sometimes handled. So again, for those of you who aren't familiar, again, Camisha Hollis, a beautiful woman that was unfortunately went missing several years ago, and that was later not necessarily found, but deemed dead, I guess.
No,
What is?
it's been open this whole time, and it's finally the whole thing is that it's closed because this man finally has admitted to manslaughter.
Yes, yes. I couldn't find the words that like she wasn't found dead. Like
She was been missing this whole time.
yeah, yeah, she's been missing, but at some point they decided that they were no longer going to look for her and turn it into a murder or a death case. And as Paul just mentioned, they looked to her boyfriend at the time, I believe.
They was looking at him the whole time. They had him arrested way back then, and he never had confessed anything. I mean, this has been ongoing, man.
Yeah, yeah. Since 2018.
Yeah. Oh, he played. Yeah, he played no contest.
And that is again the interesting premise that I wanted to challenge is this whole plea deal and the narrative around this plea deal, because it seems as if the family of Miss Hollis was sidelined. Again, just weeks before a trial was set, the family had been waiting for it. As Paul mentioned, this is something that's been going on for quite some time. The family has not been able to get closure for now years, and apparently Martha Hollis, the mother of Camisha, was reportedly surprised by this plea deal. She says, "I was looking for first degree murder because he took my daughter's life. He should give up his. I guess that'll never happen. But I wasn't looking for manslaughter. It was a shock to me. I just talked to the prosecutor yesterday, and she mentioned mentioned it as a possibility, but didn't mention he would be pleading in court or I'd have been there." Young, who is the name of the man who admitted to murdering Camisha Hollis, is now convicted of manslaughter, and the plea deal did not require him to say where he left the body. So not only did the mother of the victim not know that there was even going to be a plea deal, not given the opportunity to even be there when this man who took her daughter's life pled, but also was not even given the option or the opportunity within that plea to get some kind of closure to find and ultimately bury her daughter. Give her a proper burial.
Precious McKesson in the chat says he didn't admit. So
There you go.
this wasn't an admittal. He pleaded no contest. They gave him manslaughter for it. So he's never admitted it. Didn't admit it, and he's because he's not admitting it wouldn't never tell them where the body's at.
Mm-hmm.
Secretfeld says they said they let it be plea down because otherwise the children would have to testify. The case was heavily relying on their testimony. Yeah, if you remember, they were left alone when she came up missing. Brooks says just goes to show us what we already know: Black women's lives are not valued. They don't care.
And that's kind of my takeaway from it. That's my biggest takeaway. Is the fact that we all know when it's about clearance rates to some extent.
Yeah. Well, our support goes out to the family. Her mom in the article said that they're not gonna. She's gonna forgive and not gonna let this bring them down. But man, it's got to be rough to know that this person did this. He won't admit it. They don't have closure with her, with being able to bring her home. It's been messed up. It's been a messed up situation this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
We actually started. She went missing around the time that we were kind of the first couple of years that we were doing Mind and Soul, and we've been following this story and talking to the family and doing all kinds of stuff over time. So, when I read the headline, I was kind of just like, "What? This is what has come of this?"
Yeah, this is not this is an end, but it's not necessarily closure or some argue justice. And I definitely agree with Miss Erica Phelps. She says they should have made him tell her where she is.
They should have beat it out of him.
Yeah.
Precious is so sad. Pray for the family, for real.
Definitely pray, for Miss Martha, as Paul just mentioned, coming out of this the best way you can, in the best perspective that you can, only hoping that this leads to good in some way, shape, or form. Actually, Miss Martha says, I hope young ladies that maybe are in a domestic violence will look at my daughter's story and what she went through and that she didn't make it out. And if maybe she could just touch if one young person could change from that. So again, going back to the premise of this type of situation and not accepting the premise, a lot of times with these types of cases, especially when it's sisters, quote unquote women of color, they're kind of victim shamed, or a lot of people are mentioning, why didn't this person just leave? And it's not always that easy. It's not always that easy. And if this can help someone, hopefully it does.
Miss Erica Feld, wrapping up this sentiment nicely, says, my heart stays hurt for her children. In the beginning, I offered to rally to meet their needs, but the family has ensured they're well taken care of for. I just keep thinking of my own children. I hope he suffers daily in the pen. It won't be justice, but it'll be something.
Yeah. And to that point, Miss Martha is now in custody of the children.
There it is. Man.
Yeah, again, it's an end, but not necessarily closure. There will be a sentencing coming up. Martha and Camisha's actually oldest daughter are already working on their statements that they'll read during the sentencing hearing. So again, still more to go through and more to deal with for them.
Wow. Sarah said, let's repeat. Women often don't leave because they know their life is in most danger when their abuser realizes the woman won't be available to be abused. Got to watch out for it all the way around, from every angle. Men watching their other men and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Muhammad is talking about 17-year-old Kenyatta Bush. The teenager was kidnapped outside North High School on her way to class September 23rd, 1992. She was raped, stabbed, and then dumped in a wooded area of North Omaha.
Yep. Actually, I went to North Omaha. Heard about that. I went to Omaha North. Excuse me. Heard about that story as a student, and for that very reason, students aren't allowed to leave for lunch like that.
Yeah, I heard about that story too.
Yeah, man.
Messed up. Miss Erica Phil says only men can prevent other men from being abusive. Yeah. Most men, I think, that are abusive are not abusive in front of other men.
No.
And I've been in situations where people that I was protecting didn't let me know they were being abused because they knew that it would start some mess.
Mm-hmm.
So I also encourage women to speak up as well more. Yeah. That would help.
Vicky Young says, Black women matter. Black women matter indeed. And actually, Paul, if you're all right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk about Miss Kentaji Brown Jackson.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's jump into some good news there on that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not quite sure if you'll say good news. Again, continuing our conversation about the premise and how we're covered in the media.
Media coverage. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B. Buddi3 Da Gawd. Star Trek Rich. Stay tuned. Yo. Welcome back. Once again, space is the place.
Yeah, man.
Season 3 of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Ooh, you missed your key right there.
Yeah, I did.
That break would have been perfect for that. Try it. I don't know when the other break's coming. We have to try it again.
Yeah, I missed my moment. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all good. It's all good. Welcome back once again. It is March the 4th, 2022, and you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich. It's going down out here. 8:24. If you believe in the concept of time, it's already coming up on the 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
so it is Friday. I was thinking it was Monday. Excuse my whole first rant. I don't know where I was, man. It was like fresh edition on Monday. I don't know what was going on. Margie Sturgeon brought up a very good point here in the chat. She says they can't say they couldn't have won a case against him. Don Klein got a conviction against Christopher Edwards in the Jessica O'Grady case without a body. I don't understand this plea deal. Why can't they prosecute? In Camisha Hollis' case.
Yeah, definitely. Given the fact that there are shell cases and blood found in the house, something happened. Yeah. Again, this is usually the case with women of quote unquote color. It's either not covered at all, or when it is covered, it's quickly swept under the rug or not pursued to the full extent. But when it's little Jessica or little Susie, then they bring out, they hold no stops.
It's real. Amber, you got a whole alert. Stacey Jean says even if women can get away from their abusers, he knows where to find her family, friends, and her job. There was a situation years ago at Physicians Mutual where a man tried to run his wife over in the parking lot because he knew he could find her at her job.
Yeah. Definitely those types of situations. So, man, definitely praying for women, going through domestic abuse, going through, that type of situation. And if you know somebody, try to help them the best you can. It's not an easy situation to even, help with.
Yeah. This is Women's History Month, by the way.
Yes.
I'm sure that Michelle Troskler will have some things to say about that when we have her on for her soapbox moment next Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. And we'll be talking a lot about that in the same premise that we're talking about Black History Month. Maybe we can talk about Women's Future Month as well. So,
yeah. I mean, really, women's moment is now. It's women's moment is now. It is your time to really, demand and call for whatever it is that women are calling for, because women are finding power and getting success in those things, man. Look at big shout out to the women's soccer that just had a landmark win in their fight for equal pay. I know you're not big into sports, but that's definitely a huge story that broke. And now, again, not only are we having the first African American woman vice president, but now looks like Judge Kentaji Brown Jackson looks to be the next one to make history. Even we got Miss History Making P on here. So she, if she's still chiming in, would definitely love to hear her thoughts on this latest nomination. And I will say nomination because the confirmation has not come down yet. That is set for the 25th of this month, but that has not stopped the races. That has not stopped the naysayers. That has not stopped the haters from coming out of the woodwork already. And of course, if you don't know, we're talking about the Supreme Court nomination of District of Columbia Circuit Judge Kentaji Brown Jackson, who was again just nominated by President Joe Biden to replace Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer, and would actually make Jackson, if confirmed, the first Black female justice
ever.
Joe
Biden said he gonna have somebody black, and he gonna have a black woman in there. He said it.
Yeah, and he delivered on that promise. Again, nominating this woman, by all means, from what I'm hearing, is worthy of all the praise and, quite honestly, all the hate that she has received, because she is a problem in a good way. Again, kind of read a little bit about her background. I believe went to a HBCU. Put in the work, a long time judge, and lawyer. Actually, apparently she has more court experience, like trial court experience, than about 9 of the justices combined.
She did more judging than Judy.
Man, as Josh Tagg says, Jackson is also one of the most qualified nominees to do this job. So why, with all of those accolades that we just named, I guess that kind of answers its own question. Is she getting the hate? And I think that's why. Of course, Fox News' own Tucker Carlson started off with the attacks, even actually recently going as far as calling for Judge Jackson's LSAT score.
It just hit me that we've gone a whole year with this show without mentioning Sucker Carlson's name. Now we're gonna have to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could have got through this without mentioning him by name, but I think he needs to be brought to the front for this one. Please come to the front.
Step on up.
Yeah, man. What do you make of this, Paul? What are your thoughts?
I mean, we knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Joe Biden said, "I intend on picking a black woman for this," well, that's reverse racism. I mean, started way back. So, and his point was he's just not going to find any black woman. He's going to pick. He made it a point to say, "I'm going to pick from a pool of well qualified black women for this position because it's time." He's standing his ground, but we live in a situation right now where that's going to get challenged. Of course they're going to be like, well, that's affirmative action and all this mess they're talking about. Judy Prince has another pea head.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised that he came out and said this. And apparently there are actually some reports. I didn't really get to get into them this morning, but Miss Jackson was recently spotted on Capitol Hill making her claim and speaking up and making her pitch for the nomination. What are your thoughts on her chances of being confirmed?
The little bit that I've read about it, there's a bunch of people. There's actually one Republican that's supporting this outright supporting, and he's actually asking other Republicans to do the same. There's a few Republicans that are going to be leaving their office, so their vote, they're just like, why? What their vote is going to be like they don't got no skin in the game for next year, so they're thinking of it a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. This is a lifetime appointment.
It is.
And so I do believe that it's not gonna be easy because there's no way they're gonna make that easy.
Mm-hmm.
I do think her chances are pretty good. I mean, it's the fact that the president is backing this is still a thing, even if it is Joe Biden. It's hard to call, but from some of the things that I've heard, I feel like she got a better chance than we thought she was going to have. And like you said, this is women's time. This is black women's time right now, anyway, man. So as far as the public support is concerned, if that's what it's going to lean on, then she got it. But these are the people making these votes.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a nomination that she can get confirmed in without much support from across the aisle. Actually, right. I think Democrats have enough to support her and get her through. Of course, with also the support of Kamala Harris, which you already know she's on board. So I do think that the prospect of this is a reality. Mm-hmm. And kind of as I look more into her background, again, not just her parents who were, well within the struggle, for equality, but also her herself working as a public defender at some point. I am curious to see, what kind of change and what kind of disruption she can create.
Here's the other thing. I've been looking around to see because I've been like, who else is going to start some mess here? It's been Tucker Klansman so far, so Sucker Carlson, and really nobody else. I haven't really heard too much else on that level. But here's some of the other things though that had me thinking about it. She's got the backing of the police union, tough, like real tough. Okay, that tells me she's probably going to get it, but that also makes me pause.
Hmm.
Who we putting in here? It's good. It's great. You can't just be a symbol, man. It can't. It's great to have a black woman in the seat, but is this black woman down with the police union?
To that point,
No,
Precious Monique says Paul Ryan is related to her by marriage, so she has Republican support. Um,
okay.
but again, Brother Vaughn Chapman says she can be confirmed with a simple majority vote from the Democrats. So even though she doesn't necessarily need Republican support, it's possible that she has it, which again leads us to believe that the prospect of her getting in is more of a reality. But I do agree with you, Paul. Although a lot of her background is looking good, we should continue to look into what we're getting in our Supreme Court. Definitely with the fact that it is a lifetime appointment.
Yeah, and just like everything else, I mean, it's legendary that a black woman is getting the job, especially a well qualified black woman is getting the job. That's great. I can't leave on the table what it is that I'm thinking about as far as that stuff's concerned. Though, where does where does follow the money? Where's the support coming from here on
Mm-hmm.
this? So we'll see. We'll just have to see about that stuff. But like Precious says, brace her off her record, and her record is outstanding. Yeah, get the
There you go.
job. I want that her to make history that way. Absolutely. Richard Lewis said Republicans have nominated and confirmed more unqualified candidates in judgeships in the last 5 years than any other time in history. Some with no bench experience whatsoever. It's obvious why this is all of the sudden an issue now.
Yeah. Again, she has more experience than a handful of justices combined. So there is that. And then also, of course, just her outstanding record beyond that. Just again serving time, as a lawyer.
Yeah.
I was going to make a comment that I kind of slipped my mind. Yeah, I just completely lost my thought on that one.
It's gone, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry. It came back just like that. My bad. But going to what Brother Richard was saying, I actually came across a video where they were comparing Justice Jackson to Justice Kavanaugh and his his interview of him talking about drinking beer and stuff in high school. Yeah, it was very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Precious says all police unions aren't bad. I'm sorry. If anybody gets backed by the police, I got a question. Maybe that's coming from California. I don't know. We'll see though. KDL says reverse racism, please.
Yeah.
Affirmative action.
Again, man,
If she can't get it on her own, then you don't need to be specifically. They were saying a whole bunch of stuff when this came up.
Yeah, man. What are conservatives trying to conserve? That's my question.
That's a good question. 8:37 right now in Omaha, Nebraska. If you believe in the concept of time, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Judy Princess says she really likes your little in the morning. So
yeah. I figured somebody would.
I'll make sure that we do it. Get it in there. And Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, most definitely. Pops in the chat says Jackie Robinson was not the best black baseball player, but was chosen as the first one to join the major leagues for several different reasons, including being able to be a little more acceptable to a larger selection of people than many other better black ball players. Okay. So I get the comparison here.
Okay, I guess you got to make it a little more palatable.
She's the first. She'll be the first to get in, and she's pretty good, well qualified. I cannot speak on anything else on that because I did not look at any of the other candidates and their qualifications at all. So I can't say whether she's more or less, but definitely well qualified. So and got support, got backing, and it'll be legendary. And hopefully then that'll be the first of many more to come. So we'll see.
The 25th. Confirmation on the 25th.
What conservatives are trying to conserve exactly? I heard that. Augie Kid says whenever oh man, I'm losing it. Whenever a historic nomination that's peddled is progress is put at the forefront, always slow clap with eyes wide open, look around and see if John is about to put a hot one in your hand. Lincoln, in your head. Yeah, hear that. Von Chapman says the difference between future Justice Jackson and current Justice Clarence Thomas will be obvious.
Oh,
that's another person I hope we didn't ever have to mention on this show.
Yeah, we talked about his wife, Omaha's own.
Yeah, he married an Omaha woman that was part of the insurrection.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Judy Princeton wants to know where Little Mama is. We in this time, Little Mama, if she's around, she gotta make a cameo. Let's see. Von Chapman says, "Oh yeah,
she's upstairs."
Okay.
Get her.
Precious says she's released people from prison who were wrongfully convicted. She goes off the facts and not the influence. That's what's up. Inside information from Precious McKesson. That's what we need around here.
Yeah, and she says there's a national call coming to support her. She's gonna hit us with the link, y'all.
Hey, that's what's up. Sounds good. Mr. Eric Fell says, speaking of candidates, have y'all seen the commercial against Pillin with all of the racist fear mongering? I had to record my TV and post it. So bizarre. I didn't see it.
We got to look into that. That's
a hot mess. Ill and Pillin.
Yeah, Illin again.
That's right. We still got a little bit to talk about. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back again. First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, Augie Kid in the house. We got the squad in the house. We'll play a little Augie beat for you.
Be right back. Squad.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. What up? It's going down. First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich.
Squad.
And soon we'll be politicking with P again.
Ooh. People can't wait.
She said, I can't wait to get back on with you guys. Politicking with P. That's what I'm talking about. We've been waiting on it. Yeah, this is going to be good. And also, don't forget, we have Michelle Trostler coming in next week for her soapbox moment on Wednesday. Yes, I want to put a call out to the chat chimers. And if you have if you are or you have any kids from the age of 18 to 25 that would like to do a little work with us, let us know, because we have some avenues there that we can get them a little check, and then they can help us further what we're doing around here with First Sky Omaha in the morning. So let us know, send some people our direction, please. We really appreciate if you would do that. It's kind of hard to find people to help these days a little bit. So yeah, so we're just asking for, if you have any direct connection to anybody of that age group, let us know and send them our way if they want to do a little work. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Ceci Jean says, way to ham, nephew. That's what's up. Way to jam. I heard that. Zane was dancing to that. What's up, Zane? You like that beat?
Getting down, huh? Got the people going.
I love it. Rome's Review says, have a blessed weekend, everyone. Please hit the like button on your way out. Yes, he's over there on YouTube. Definitely hit the like button. Definitely subscribe. Appreciate that. Judy Princess says, just want to let you all know that you help me to think and do what I can to help others. I feel the same way about you, Judy, and everybody who's on the chat chime. And this is like a think tank, so
Yeah,
we're
man.
all trying to help do that. Ms. Circlefeld says, I need info on that for a few young men. Okay. We will definitely shoot you over
Yeah.
something for that. Brooke says, okay, I wanted to bring up the No Limit reunion at the Baxter Arena.
Okay.
There's no limit on it.
You
No
bought
limit,
it,
soldier.
Paul? Is that...
About it. Yeah, I don't know too much about the promoters that are putting this on. I don't know. I just don't know. Haven't heard nothing about who's the one putting it on. I did see the advertisement. It should be fun. I mean, hey, No Limit. They know how to put on a show too.
Oh yeah.
So I would like to check it out. Perhaps, maybe we'll see. Brother Muhammad says, I will check with the children in my circle, Paul. Appreciate that.
Please.
Pop says, I love the No Limit crew. Okay, Pops, what you know about
Hey,
about it?
make them say
About it too.
Make them say
The
Like,
9
nah,
9.
nah.
What's up, Pops?
Oh man.
Welcome back. 8:45
Yes.
right now. She said, I thought I told you. 8:45 right now. If you got somewhere to be at 9 o'clock, you got about 15 minutes. We got a few more things to jump into real quick and jump into the Hap since it's a Friday too. See what's going on around town.
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and get this next article on up out of the way as we prepare for the Haps.
Yep.
And we'll wrap up with some international news, talking about the situation raging on in Ukraine. Again, Russia invading Ukraine in the most craziest of ways. Again, getting into armed conflict shootouts with citizens, man, is wild. But what's even wilder, I would say, is how this is being covered in the media, man. This is crazy. This is just crazy how racism always finds its way into every situation. It's just almost like they can't help themselves.
No.
Like they just don't even know that they're doing it. But while on air, CBS News senior foreign correspondent Charlie Da Gawd put his foot in his mouth, y'all, stating last week that Ukraine, quote unquote, isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan. No, not like these places that have seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European city, one where you wouldn't expect that or hope that is going to happen. Again, this is the guy that choosing his words carefully, as he stated he was trying to do. I would definitely hate to think or hear what he has to say when he's just speaking his mind.
I thought I told you.
Man, and Da Gawd isn't the only one. Apparently, there have been similar reports on the BBC. Actually, the BBC interviewed a former deputy prosecutor general of Ukraine, who told the networks, "It's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed every day. I understand and respect the emotion. We're not talking here about Syrians fleeing the bombing or the Syrian regime backed by Putin. We're talking about Europeans leaving in cars that look like ours to save their lives."
Wow.
Oh, what a difference it makes when you see yourself in the story.
Wow. There was a whole bunch of them actually. Like
yeah. That's just a couple. Apparently, the ITV has some journalists with this same.
I think we need to read some more. You got another one over there to lay on somebody because this is heavy.
Let's see. Yeah, I'll go into this ITV one. Apparently, an ITV journalist reporting from Poland said, "Now the unthinkable has happened to them, and this is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe."
These are Christians. One of them said these are Christians.
Man, somebody from Al Jazeera, an Al Jazeera anchor, says, looking at them the way they are dressed, these are prosperous. I'm loath to use the expression middle class people. These are not obviously refugees looking to get away from the areas in the Middle East that are still a big state of war. These are not people trying to get away from the areas in North Africa. They look like any apparently middle class citizen. Yeah, so one person even said, this is a writer for the Telegraph saying they seem so like us. That is what it makes it so shocking. Ukraine is a European country. Its people watch Netflix for Pete's sake. They have Instagram accounts, vote in free elections, and read uncensored newspaper. War is no longer something visited upon impoverished and remote populations. So only the poor and the remote deserve war being visited upon them.
Leah Keister says the quiet part out loud again.
Man.
New Najee L, what's happening? Says it's just so obvious that they never cared until now. Leah Keister says they're not even trying to keep it on the
No.
They trying. You see them. They're trying to censor them, so they're trying to pick their words carefully.
Yeah, they're tiptoeing around this racism.
Rain Harrison Williams says now it hits home for them. Forget about war from torn Africa and the Middle East. Yeah, Al Jazeera said some of this.
Yeah, I mean it's not like it's Iraq.
Big toe itching. Europe. Your big toe itching, ain't it, Eric Felt? Because I have been. Listen, we started doing this because we were tired of the misrepresentation on just our own local news.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this kind of mess right here. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is how now they need to rethink about how it is that they have been presenting people in the Middle East, people in Africa all this time, if that's how they was thinking all this time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's pretty accurate or pretty I don't think this is going to really lead to a change of heart. I don't think this is going to lead to
no, but it's more blatant stuff. It's just like looking at police brutality on a phone. Like it's just out in the open. But has it changed anything? No, but maybe some people who didn't think it was like that are able to see how it really is. Like, this is going all over the place. Everybody's talking about this right now. Everybody's like, you put your foot in your mouth, bro. That's CBS.
Man, you think you say, hey, dude try to come back and apologize, but
that's the thing. That's how they really feel. Brother Mayor Sanchez says something. He says that's why the Capitol Police couldn't defend the Capitol. They couldn't shoot someone that looked just like them.
Yep. Said a mouthful with that one.
Brother Muhammad says, I cannot live without the truth. Heard that. Following the wise man. Von Chapman says, white on white crime. Yeah, that part. Leah Keister said, thank goodness for your voices. Well, yeah, appreciate it. I mean, I wish that it wasn't necessary. Augie Kid says, tiptoeing around racism. No, buddy, they were at the steady run and slow to a light jog, still keeping up with that KKK radio.
No, that cardio.
That cardio. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, man. And yeah, Miss Erica felt reading my mind. No mention of African students and citizens that aren't white. Right.
No mention of that woman had a 3-day-old baby sitting in 3-degree weather. No mention of how they put all the Africans at the back of the line and wouldn't let people on
after waiting for 72 hours.
Right. No mention of all that. Just people walking around in Levi's that got Instagram accounts that are, and this is such a tragedy that they have to be in a war.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're trying to preach it to the choir with this one.
We are, but it's more ammo for the choir because people, this is stuff that we can pull out and show other people.
Facts.
This is what this is about. This is how people think. This is how people think of you. And this is why things are like they are. So,
and this is why we control our own narrative and tell our own stories. And as Leah Keister says, thank goodness for your voices. Voices like ours need to be heard. Voices like yours need to be heard.
That's what I was going to say. Thank goodness for your voices.
Mm-hmm.
Most deaf. It is 8:53 right now. Let's go ahead and jump into a little haps. It is Friday. Some shoulders moving this morning.
Not quite like Michelle's, but I do my
get the smooth roll. Yeah. Let me jam for a minute.
What's happening? What's going down?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Time for the haps. It's time for us to talk about what is cool happening this weekend that you might need to check out, and time for you to let us know about some of the goings on that we need to be bigging up on the show as well. I'm trying to go back up because Judy Prinzler has one. There it is. Women's Walk this Sunday at 2,
Okay.
Turner Park. So appreciate that, haps. Women's Walk. It is
that.
Women's History Month. Women's History Month. So Women's Walk, Turner Park, 2:00 this Saturday. Go check it out for sure. Other than that, buddy, do you have some more haps?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Did that Ernest Jackson walk already happen?
No, not yet. Let me get the date on that. Why don't you go ahead with some other haps while we find the date on that?
While we look into the Ernest Jackson walk, I did want to bring up nothing necessarily local, but this Reading Rainbow is coming back. That's a hap. Yeah, it's happening. Yeah, it's happening.
I gotta shut the funk down with this.
It's not funky. It's not funky at all. Of course, the largest omission, the glaring omission from this reboot, of course, is the missing LeVar Burton.
Not only that, but they have fully changed everything about the show. So
yeah, it's only a name.
Yeah, it's bad news, man. It's bad news. And it's funny because I've been looking at old episodes of Reading Rainbow with LeVar Burton. I didn't realize like how much some of those later shows, first of all, the later shows, Patti LaBelle sang the hook. Came back and sang the theme song. On those later shows that she was on the theme song, they were doing stuff like doing little documentary films on Native culture, on all these different diverse things that were happening. Mm-hmm. That's not what's going to happen here with this new show. So LeVar Burton got a whole bunch of other stuff going on with some reading. We just need to like stay up on his stuff. But
yeah,
that's crazy, man. They keep shutting out the guy with the sunglasses. They clowning.
Yeah, man. They want to give me any love.
The clowning. That was too funny.
Not just any sunglasses, the cool sunglasses.
The cool ones. Like a banana hair clip.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead with some other halves, man.
Oh yeah. Of course, we got the Omaha Planning Department virtual public meeting that's coming up March 15th. That's a Tuesday from 5:30 to 7. Of course, talking about the community development block grant. Also, the amendment to the 2019 action plan. So definitely talking about some development, some things happening in your backyard, in your community. So if you can make this will be virtual. Again, that's Tuesday, March 15th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. I do believe Omaha Housing Authority is a part of this, Omaha Planning Department, and a few other organizations. So definitely tap in.
Yep, there was a couple of meetings that went on that we need to go back and look and see. I think there's some stuff that happened over the last week and weekend that I wondered if people checked out. So we'll have to go back and look at some of those and see if you guys made it.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm not able to find this date on this walk. I have all the other information on it.
I believe it's later this month. It's like late March, but we want to get the right date. Also, while we're still looking for that, Omaha Film Festival, shout out to Margie, in-person events March 10th through the 12th, and then virtual screenings March 13th through April 2nd. Filmmakers for the in-person screening From the Hood to the Holler will be attending. The film follows Charles Booker and his campaign against Mitch McConnell running the Kentucky Senate. So, again, the film festival, they're also partners of ours and part of the fam. So definitely shout out to everyone a part of the Omaha Film Festival. If you can tune in and support that and check that out, please do so.
There you go. Like that. Mr. Circus says, I'll be putting my exercise bike together. Everyone's welcome to invite me to do something else.
Oh, well, that's happening. Oh, man.
I like that.
I don't really have much else. But if we can't find that Ernest Jackson, we'll have to. I know we shared it on the Friends Up page.
Yeah, I'm going there to look at it right now because we need to go ahead and get this date next to the other stuff that's going on with the information. I got all the other information. It's Earnest Legal Defense 22 block march starting at Orchard Park, 5030 North 72nd Street, Cross Training Center, where we'll have the fundraising event. David Pontos will be our guest. Walk will start at 11:30. Benefits starting at 1 until 4. The marathon continues to send Ernest home. Okay, well
that's how it says.
Yeah, 22 block march starting at Orchard Park, 5030 North 72nd, Cross Training Center. Okay, so we got all the details on it. Now we just need the date, and we'll be good to go. All right.
March 26th.
Where'd you find it?
I just went to the Ernest Jackson Facebook page.
That would have been easier for me.
That's all right, man. Again,
I'm going back to bed. I ain't done.
Hey, Paul ain't 100%. Y'all cut up some slack, y'all. Saturday, March 26th, send Ernest home, benefit walk, and fundraiser. We definitely had to go through all of that because we need people to show up and support this right along. Again, today is March 4th, 2022, and Ernest Jackson is not free, and also Ed Poindexter is not free. So there you go.
And all we had to do was wait. Here's Brianna Full saying Ernest Jackson walk is March 26th. Appreciate it. And we can always count on our chat chimers to know what's going on and all that good stuff. Appreciate you. For those of you that don't remember, Brianna Full is running for a seat on OPS as well. Go to Full for OPS. Check out her campaign. And we got voting stuff happening, so we need to be talking about that coming up.
Yeah, man.
It's going down. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Miss Erica Fell says, as always, the show was so good and truly important. Thank you. Please be good to yourselves, drink water, and keep your space. I like that a lot. Thank you very much for that. Tamika Johnson gives us a heart, a peace, and some sunshine. Appreciate that. Brooke says, good show. Let's see, Wanda Lewis. Okay, everybody's talking to each other here. That'll work. Pop says, this show is so engaging that it flies by. Another great one. Thank you. Have a good weekend, everybody, and see you on Monday. Appreciate you. Thanks, Pops.
Yes.
Brother Muhammad says, tell Lottie, tell Dottie, tell everybody. It's First Sky in the morning, 7 a.m., Monday through Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Tell Lottie, tell Dottie, tell everybody.
Tell everybody.
Brooke says, make them say,
nah.
Nagi says, L says, peace and love. To you all, have a great weekend. Yes, please, everybody have a great weekend.
Yes, y'all. Yes.
Stay warm, stay safe, check on the loved ones, stay hydrated. Heard that. Katie L says, if it's not LeVar Burton, it ain't reading Rainbow, period. That's what I'm talking about. It is. Josh Tate says, have a wonderful weekend, all. You guys have a wonderful weekend, too. Thank you very much for tuning in. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Man, as always, we love, appreciate, and thank your input, your engagement. The show would not be the same without you. So let's continue to be awesome, continue to mobilize. Again, make sure you check out Mayor Sanchez's new group. Support business, support local businesses, the people that know your name when you walk in, know what you want. All you got to say is, give me the usual, and they're going to get you right. So again, check out and support local businesses and support the group by Mayor Sanchez. And also tell a friend. Catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here live on First Sky Omaha. Be sure to check us out at Friends of First Sky Omaha. Let's continue the conversation there. And as always, be awesome, y'all.
Hey, buddy. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can.
What you got? What you got for me?
See the guy behind me?
Yeah. I see him. I see Jordy back there chilling. I see him.
Jordy LaForge, put some respect on his name.
Yeah. I see him back there chilling. I saw him posted, looking all regal.
I want to give a shout out to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them, and shout out to Star Trek Rich and his partner Jordy LaForge over here at Weberized Studios. If you guys have podcast ideas, go to Weberized Studio. Yes, Rich, I'm glad you went to the bathroom and all that blasphemy was going on. You might have gotten hot over that one, but we straightened it out. Space is the place. This is season 3, First Sky Omaha in the morning. First Sky Omaha with Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, Michelle Troxclair, and very soon, politicking with P again.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you very much. We'll see you. Have a great weekend Monday. Actually, I will be in Vegas on Monday, So we'll have a very strange week with all kinds of remote stuff going on. But we'll be here and we'll work it out. So you guys have a good one. Stay safe. Be cool. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any means necessary.
Hey, we still on the air. Where's little mama at?
I can go grab her.
She got to be down for the finale.
Yeah, my bad.
Let's see how it does. Judy Prinzler asked this time too. Two people want to see little mama.
And she did. I don't even know what state she in right now. I'm gonna be honest. She probably got a bottle on her face.
Yeah, don't mess with her.
Yeah, it's about that time.
All right, we'll see you Monday.